I found the message on her phone by accident, and it shattered my world in a single breath. "I wish this baby was yours," she wrote to him. Her ex. The man I thought she'd left behind years ago. My hands shook as I stared at the screen, the words burning into me like a brand. How do you even begin to process something like that? Your wife, the woman you've built a life with, carrying your child, or so I thought, wishing it belonged to someone else. Let me take you back to the start, before everything unraveled. My name's Ethan, and I'm just a regular guy, 32 years old, working as a high school math teacher in a small town. I met Lily 6 years ago at a friend's barbecue. She had this laugh, bright, unguarded, like she could light up a room without trying. We hit it off over burnt hot dogs and cheap beer, talking about old movies and our shared hatred of karaoke. By the end of the night, I knew I wanted her in my life. 2 years later, we were married, promising forever in a little backyard ceremony with fairy lights and her mom crying in the front row. Life with Lily was good, better than good. We had our routines, you know? Mornings spent brewing coffee together, her stealing sips from my mug because she said it tasted better. Evenings on the couch, binge-watching true crime shows, her head on my shoulder, teasing me for jumping at the scary parts. We weren't perfect. Money was tight sometimes, and we argued over dumb stuff like whose turn it was to do the dishes. But I loved her deeply, and I thought she loved me the same. When she told me she was pregnant 3 months ago, I cried big, messy tears of joy. I could already picture our kid, maybe with her green eyes, running around our tiny backyard. I was all in, ready to be a dad, ready to build our family. But something shifted after the pregnancy news. It was subtle at first, easy to brush off. Lily started staying up late, curled up on the couch with her phone, the screen tilted just out of my view. She'd smile when I asked what she was reading, saying it was just work stuff, or some dumb group chat. I didn't push. I trusted her. Why wouldn't I? But then there were the late-night errands, quick trips to the store that took an hour longer than they should. The way she'd go quiet when I asked about her day, her answers clipped like she was guarding something. I told myself it was hormones, stress, the weight of becoming a mom. I wanted to believe that. One night about a week ago, I couldn't ignore it anymore. She'd fallen asleep on the couch, phone still in her hand, the screen glowing faintly. I don't know why I picked it up. Maybe it was the way she'd been acting, or maybe it was just a gut feeling like a whisper I couldn't shake. I swiped to unlock it. Her password was still our wedding date. And there it was, a message thread with a name I hadn't seen in years, Jake. Her ex from college, the guy she dated before me. I scrolled, my heart pounding so loud I thought it might wake her. The messages went back months. At first they were innocent, catching up, reminiscing about old times. But then they turned. "I miss you," she wrote one night. "Sometimes I wonder what life would have been like if we'd stayed together." His replies were cautious but warm, encouraging her to keep talking. And then the one that broke me. "I wish this baby was yours." I stood there, frozen, the phone heavy in my hand. My chest felt like it was caving in, like I couldn't get enough air. I wanted to scream, to shake her awake, to demand answers. But I just sat there, staring at her sleeping face, wondering who this woman was. The Lily I loved wouldn't do this. She wouldn't betray me, not like this. Would she? The next morning I couldn't look at her the same. She noticed too. "You okay, babe?" she asked over breakfast, her voice soft, concerned. I nodded, muttering something about a bad night's sleep. But inside I was spiraling. I kept seeing those words, replaying them in my head. "I wish this baby was yours." Did she mean it? Was she still talking to him? Was our whole life a lie? I spent the next few days in a fog, going through the motions. Teaching my classes, grading papers, smiling at her when she kissed my cheek. But every night I'd check her phone when she was asleep. The messages kept coming. Nothing as bad as that one, but enough to know she was still reaching out to him, still hiding it from me. I couldn't keep it in anymore. Last night, after she went to bed, I sat her down at the kitchen table. The house was quiet, just the hum of the fridge and the clock ticking on the wall. "Lily," I said, my voice shaking despite how hard I tried to stay calm. "I saw the messages. To Jake." Her face went pale, her eyes wide like a deer caught in headlights. "What are you talking about?" she stammered, but I could hear the guilt in her voice. I pulled out my phone where I'd taken screenshots and slid it across the table. She stared at them, her hands trembling, and then she started to cry. "It's not what you think," she said, her voice breaking. I was just confused. I don't love him, Ethan. I love you. I wanted to believe her, but the words felt hollow. Then why? I asked, my voice louder than I meant it to be. Why tell him you wish our baby was his? She sobbed harder, covering her face. She said she'd been scared about becoming a mom, that reaching out to Jake was a mistake, a way to escape the pressure. She swore it was just talk, that she hadn't seen him, hadn't done anything physical. But it didn't matter. The trust was gone, replaced by a raw, aching hurt I couldn't shake. We sat there in silence for what felt like hours, the weight of her words hanging between us. I wanted to scream, to leave, to rewind time to when I didn't know. But I just felt empty. I need time, I finally said, standing up. I don't know what this means for us, Lily. She nodded, tears streaming down her face, and I walked out of the kitchen, leaving her there. I'm staying at my brother's place now, trying to figure out what comes next. I still love her. God help me, I do, but I don't know if I can forgive her. The baby's due in 6 months, and every time I think about it, I see her words to Jake. I want to be a dad, but how do I move forward when I can't trust the woman I thought I'd spend my life with? I'm stuck in this limbo, caught between the life I planned and the truth I can't unsee. Some betrayals don't leave bruises, but they cut deeper than any knife. I'm learning that now, one sleepless night at a time. If you've listened all the way to the end, thank you. It means the world to know you're out there, sharing this moment with me. Your support keeps these stories alive, and I'm grateful for every second you spend here.